still between there are so many are coming, that's why we are interrupting. Okay. So polymorphism we had learned that more than one form of an object, isn't it? When one object performs different tasks, multiple tasks in different situations are known as polymorphism. If we go for a exact definition of polymorphism, so it would be more than one form of an object. More than one form of an object is called polymorphism. I had already explained each and everything in that video. Still, since today I will tell you about some demonstration, some programs, some explanation using programs on this polymorphism, because this is very important also for your board paper. Clear? Every year in your board paper, the questions come from this polymorphism or method overloading. So one question of 15 marks will be there in your board paper. So be careful and be aware how the things are happening here and how we can implement method overloading in our programs. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Voice is clear? This board is clear? Very good. Very good. So almost 12 have joined, and I don't think others will join. Let's start here. So in polymorphism, what happens when a particular object performs different tasks in different situations are known as polymorphism or method overloading. We can take example of ourselves. Okay, we can take example of ourselves. Let's discuss about ourselves. We are also an object, isn't it? And we perform multiple tasks, you can say, or different tasks in different situations. Like in the classroom we study, in the playground we same object, in the playground we play, at home we study or eat, we have our food, or we play something, or we sleep. There are means different situations of only one object, but it can perform multiple tasks. Like if you take an example of a car, car is moving also sometimes, it may stop also, no? Different situations are there, but only one car, isn't it? Only one car, but performing different tasks. Just like that, in method overloading, the method name, now exactly we come on this topic. Method overloading means more than one method with the same name, more than one method with the same name but different parameters are called method overloading. As I told you just now, that only one method but doing different tasks in different situations. So this is called method overloading. Again, I repeat the definition of method overloading: more than one method with the same name but having different parameters. Parameters we have already learned in class 9. Okay, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So parameters are the arguments which we pass from a method, from the method signature. Okay, so method signature, it means method signature means parameter that we are passing. So more than one method with the same name but different parameters are called method overloading. For example, if we talk about one example here, see, we have a class demo, then we have one method public void display. You can see this method doesn't have any parameter. You can write here no parameter. No parameter. We'll have one more method public void display, and we are having one parameter here, int a. You can see here one parameter. Now see, this is a very simple example of method overloading. You can see here the class name is demo, and you can see display is a method name, and one more time I use display here. Means there are two methods with the same name. What is the definition of method overloading? What is the definition of method overloading? Anybody? Yes, method name is same. Yes, more than one method. So if you have only one method like display, so it may not be a method overloading example. Okay, it okay. So it will have more than one method with the same name. Can you see display here also? I have used display here also.
Yes, sir.
But you can see in the first method, I did not use any parameter. It is empty, isn't it? But in next method, we have one parameter, and that's why this is the example of method overloading. See, parameter list must be different. If I write here, just take example that if I write here int a, then you can see method name is same, but parameter also is getting same, isn't it? int a. So it may not be a example of method overloading because as the definition says that method name will be same, but parameter list and type of parameters will different always. So this is the example of not a method overloading. This may be anything else. I cannot tell you right now because this is the example of actually method overriding, and this is also not written in the proper way. Okay, method overriding, having the same parameters, having same method name, and that is beyond the syllable. So we will not go for that one. Here, keep in mind that in method overloading, method name will same more than one method with the different parameters. If I write same parameters here, then it may not be the method overloading example. If I write here float a, then it is correct. Type is different this time, isn't it? Number of parameters are one here also, number of parameters are here one here also, but type is different. Understood? Here float a and here int a. So now this is the example of method overloading. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So this is the example of method overloading. See, not only the method name, but the name, the type of parameters also should different. It should not be same. Like suppose here you are writing, and it must be clear. So if you have any doubt, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me. So if you write here int a, comma, int b, and the second one int c, int d. What do you think? It is a example of method overloading. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
No, it is not. It is not an example of method overloading because you can see the type of the parameters are same in both of them. Isn't it? Here also two type of integer. Here also two type of integer only. So it is not an example of method overloading. Once again, I repeat, the type of parameters and the number of parameters also should different to be a method overloading example. Clear? It cannot be a method overloading example because you can see here also int a, here also int b, and here also int, here also int. So it is not an example of method overloading because the type and the number of parameters also should different to be a method overloading. Clear? So if we write here something else, like suppose first one is int a and second one is float b. So now you can see in the first method int a and one float b, and in second method int c, int d. So now you can see both are different, isn't it? Both are not same because here one is integer, one is float. Here both are integer. So now the number of parameters and type of parameters also should different to be a method overloading example. We'll take an example of method overloading here. We'll write a program and try to understand. I believe you can now differentiate.
Yes, sir.
You should keep in mind that to be a method overload or to be an example of method overloading, not only the method name will be same, definitely, or it will be more than one method, but depends upon the parameter. How you can differentiate? How we can differentiate whether it is a example of method overloading? So only by the parameter list. Type of and the number of parameters should different to be a method overloading. Keep in mind. Clear? So we'll take a simple example to be a method overloading and we'll try to put the values also. How to put the values? Let's see. Let's start from this corner. It is visible na this side? Class method overload, then we'll have first method public void display. It contains one parameter int a, and we are not doing anything else, we are only printing it. System dot out dot println a. So first method, now it is closed. Then public void display, we have this time int a, int b. We have two parameters. In the first method one parameter it was, now we have two parameters, and let us do something like, can write here int c equals to a plus b, and then system dot out dot println c. Now you can see we have two methods. One more method will create, public void display. This time we have one character ch, and we are only printing system dot out dot println what? ch. The board is visible to all. You can see each and everything. See, we'll start from the top again and we'll try to understand how the values are given. First method, we have three methods. Get it? We have three methods with the same name. Three methods with the same name means it is definitely a method overloading example. And now we will see the parameter list. The first method contains only one parameter of integer type. Second method contains two parameters of integer type, and the third method contains one parameter of character type. So definitely they are different because one contains only one, and then because number of type of parameters. Here also same, but the number of parameters are different. Here one only, here two are there. Clear? Is it clear? See, you have to keep in mind then how to differentiate method overloading. Type of parameters and number of parameters should different. If your number of parameters and type of parameters are same, then it may not be example of method overloading. Because if I have int a, int b here also, and here also we have int a, int b, so there would be a problem. There would be an ambiguity problem or confusion problem for the compiler, because while giving the values, compiler will not understand to which method we are calling. So that's why type of parameters and number of parameters must different to be a method overload. Now the third method is display. The same method, but this time we are passing a character. So definitely this is entirely different from the previous two. So first method int a, second method int a, int b, and the third method is character ch, and we are printing all of them. Now you can assume that how we'll give the values, because only one method we have, and how we'll try to give the values to this method, because we are passing these values now. We are passing from the parameter, so these values must be given from the actual parameter, isn't it? This is a formal parameter, and the values must be given from the actual parameter. So that now we are going to learn how to give the values from actual parameter. So till here, any problem? Okay. Do you have any confusion till now? Okay, because I am listening only 2 or 3 voices, like Anjani is speaking, Komalika is speaking, and what about others? Hmm? Okay, so just note it down till here, because I will wipe out everything, and then again after this I will write next time. So just write down if you have not written till now. Have you written? Okay, then I will ask you in between, because I am going to remove everything now. After that, after the method is I have declared in the slide, this would be same, because I don't have enough space to write, so I need to remove it. Okay. See, after closing the third method, we'll create one more method to create object. So we'll write public static void main string. This is the main function from where I will call all of the functions, all of the display functions that I have created in a class. Yes. See, this is a command line argument. This is the command line argument, because see, what buffering is also required while putting the values. So for a short while in the buffer memory, all the inputs would be stored in this string argument. Whatever we input, first of all, because this is the entry point to the compiler. Your compiler starts executing your code from this main function, and if this main function contains string arguments, it means it stores all the input that we pass to the function, to the program, in this string. This is called subscript or arrays. In arrays we use in a sequence order, each and every record will be stored on the command line. So that's why we use string subscript arguments. Actually, in BlueJ, even if you don't write this statement, you can work with that. There is no issue. Okay, because BlueJ is made for the beginners, for the learners, and for the student beginners. So here, if you don't write a string argument, there is no issue at all. But apart from this BlueJ, if you use any other IDE, integrated development environment, then we need to use this string subscript argument. Actually, this is the object name. You can write your name also here. I can write my name also. It will work out, because this is only object name that holds the values that we pass from the console or from the program. Understood? Got it? Yuvraj? See, for time being, try to understand, this is the command line argument, and your program or your compiler starts executing your code from this main method. That's why we write this one. Understood? Your compiler starts executing your whole program from this main function, and that's why we write this string argument arrays. Okay, should not worry about that. This is only for the buffering for the command line argument. Now, after creating the main function, we'll try to create the object of this class. Okay, how to create object of a class? Yes, so we write method class name over object 1 equals to new method over. Now you can see I have created object of this class method over, isn't it? Yes. And what is the object name? Yes, OB1. Now using this OB1, using OB1, we'll call all the functions that we had created earlier. Display, we had created 3 functions, na? Three functions we had created, and all of them were having same name, and that's why it is called a method overloading. Because the parameter list and the number of parameters was different. Let us call all of them and see what happens, how to call them. So I believe you are well aware how to call a function using object.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is syntax for calling a function? Yes, object name dot method name. So we write ob1 dot display. Since we have 3 methods, so we'll call all of them one by one. ob1 dot display one more time, and ob1 dot display. Clear? But you can see in the first method there was one parameter of integer type, isn't it? Sure, yes. So we'll pass one value from this one, because here this is the actual parameter, na? What it is? Actual parameter, isn't it? So we are giving the values from here, and display INTA, what INTA it was a formal parameter, and this is a actual parameter. Clear? Yes. Second method was having two inputs, yeah, 2 parameters of integer type. So we'll pass 2 values here. Got it? And now the third one was containing what? One character only. Third method. Pick up. Anjani? So third one was a character only. So we'll pass one character in single quotes. Now you can see this is closed, then method is closed, and your class will be closed. This is just after all the methods we have written. Okay, this is just after display first method, then display second method, display third method, and we have written this one. Now we try to understand how we have given the values. First method, how compiler will understand, how compiler will call all of them, because all are having same name here. How compiler will understand? Compiler will understand it by the parameter list. By the parameter list that we have passed. Okay, we have passed the first method is display, and we have passed only one value of integer type. So automatically it will correlate with the first method which is given on the top. Isn't it? Is it clear now? So it will automatically correlate your function with this parameter, because this parameter contains only one value of integer type. So it will connect with the first value. It will connect with the first method, and that method will be executed. Now second method contains 2 parameters of integer type. So it will connect with the second method of display, and that method will be executed. Now third one contains one parameter of character type. So it will correlate with that third method, and the third method will be executed. So this is how your methods will be executed, depends upon the parameter list. Any doubt do you have? Do you have any question or any doubt? Yuvraj? Yuvraj? You are not audible. Listen, all of you. We can do one more thing. See, we have passed the values in a sequence order. You can see, like the method we have created on the first one. Display contains one parameter. Second display contains two parameters of integer, and third display contains one character type. But this is not that we need to pass all the values in a sequence. You can pass the values in any sequence, and automatically related methods will be called by the compiler. Let us see and try to understand. See, I am passing 10 and 5 in the first method, and the second method I am passing B, a character, and third method I am passing here only 5. Now you can see I change the sequence here, isn't it? Yes, but still it will work out because depends upon the parameters. The compiler will also find out which parameter is matching with the appropriate function definition. So the first method is matching with the which function? Second function of display, isn't it? So the second method will be executed automatically. Now B, this method is matching with third definition, third display definition. So it will the third method will be executed, and the third one is matching with the first method in method definition. So the first one will be executed. So depends upon the parameters, the compiler will understand it, and it will automatically execute those methods. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So just try to have some questions. Let me give you one question, and this should be homework. If you have any doubt till now, you can ask me anything from this method overloading. If you have anything to ask, Yuvraj? Yuvraj? So, did you understand this question? Huh? Square. That means write a program, short form. Write a program to overload a function area. Area is a function name, and for calculating the following. So you have to create only one function. The function name is area, and you will calculate area of a square and area of cylinder. Can you calculate? So this is your homework. Since time is also up, it is already 9:40. So I believe you benefited with this small demonstration on method overloading, and try to just let others also join this live classes, because only 16 have joined till now. So just talk with others also and let them join, because if the things are passed, then it will not return back. So there is no feature of recording and dubbing. So do this question, and in next class I will start your constructor overloading. I will try to give some more questions on this method overloading in next video, and we'll try to solve live. Live means practically I will try to connect my laptop or desktop with this system, and I will try to show you everything live. Clear?
Thank you. Yes.
So thank you very much for watching this live with this video. Thank you very much.